Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to Yaknakwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This is another edition of the Judgement Report. All right, this one's coming at you on October 13th of 2025, and we got, five, different little things here. As a matter of fact, I just noticed this down here too, so we'll check this out. So it'll be a total of 6. This is local news, and it just says news. So 12 hours ago, we'll check that one out as well. So I guess there was another shooting. Who would have guessed? But I try to make these lessons every week, all right, and what they serve as is to exemplify and, exalt the Lord and show you that, hey, he's not messing around, all right, he's out there, and, if you're going to be doing wickedness, all right, or if you're going to be out there in that world, then these are the type of things that befall upon worldly people, all right. It's not meant to make jest or mock or ridicule, the dead in any way or the families of these people. All right, we get it's a sad situation, but it's the fact of the matter that, hey, man, we're in deadly times and that you need to have the Lord. And I'm not talking about Jesus Christ. All right, that's not, again, time and time again, we go over it and over and over it. The name could not be Jesus Christ because the J was not invented until the 1500s. All right, his name simply could not be. And in the original Bible, Jesus was never in it. It was Iesus, so it could not be. Okay, his real name is Yahushai. His father's name is Yahweh. All right, the father's name Yahweh means he is. All right, he exists. All right, the existing one. And Yahushai, all right, the son's name means the deliverer. He delivers. Okay, so those are the true names according to Paleo Hebrew and fact. Okay, so with that, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get right into it. So unless you're serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, okay, these things are the type of things that can happen to you. Okay, it doesn't matter if you had, you thought you had the right intentions or whatever. All right, you could think you had the right intentions and be doing something bad. Okay, that's just how it works. So it's not about how you feel or anybody else feels. It's about what's the truth. All right, and the truth is that the name of the Father is Yahweh and the Son's name is Yahushai. So with that, let's get right into it. So this one's from NBC. Let's go get this one first, since we try to do it in 1 death, 2, 4, 6. It gets higher in amounts as we go. So let's go ahead and see this. I'm curious about this. So 1 dead and 2 critical after shooting among Las Vegas family. So let's see what went on here.
And you are waking up to breaking news here locally. We take you to the west side of town where a domestic dispute has led to a shooting. 2 men are in the hospital as a result, and 1 woman is dead. News 3's Alora Lagarde joins us live from the neighborhood where it all happened. I still see the flashing lights behind you, Alora, so still an active crime scene.
Yeah, Kim, certainly still an active crime scene. What we do know, and what Metro did tell us, is that when they arrived on the scene, it was a wife that was shot and found dead on the scene, right? And then there was 2 men, who was the husband as well as the son, who are now in the hospital in critical condition. You were talking about this live active scene right now. We still see 1 police car with their lights on. I believe I see another 2 Metro police cars, as well as the crime scene investigations unit as well. Lieutenant Robert Price spoke with us to give us the details on what police have gathered so far in their investigation. Here's a listen.
Husband, wife, and their son were all in their apartment. It appears that an argument broke out, and during that argument, several firearms were produced, which resulted in an exchange of gunfire. Unfortunately, that exchange of gunfire resulted in all parties being shot.
Domestic violence homicides are on the rise here in Las Vegas. Despite overall murder rate decline, the Metro Murder Stat Sheet shows it's the leading cause of fatal violence in this jurisdiction. Metro reported 61 homicides so far in 2025 as of October 5th, of which 16 are identified as domestic violence related. The Nevada Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence reports that in Clark County, there were 42 domestic violence-related homicides in 2024, which is down from that number in 2023. Now
So there you go, man. And with that, actually, we're gonna go and skip to this one because these domestic violence reports are, it says in Vegas they're rising. They're rising everywhere. Right? So you women need to really be, and you women do some crazy shit out there, right? Be hitting on your men and slapping them and trying to hit them with shit and throwing shit at them, You can be real careful, man. All right, you need to be real fucking careful, okay? Because everybody's losing their mind, all right? And you know, you women have gotten very, very comfortable, but you got to realize as we go into the end days, the things that you know got comfortable with and that you were doing for years, all of a sudden they're gonna start to have more repercussions, okay? So don't be surprised, man. You know, here it is, you've hit this guy for 10 years and one day he's gonna snap. All right, that's why you got to be careful, okay? That even talks about, there's a scripture that says a man's enemies shall be that of his own house. Okay, we don't know what was going on. This is Matthew 10:36. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Okay, you can go right here. Actually, in verse 35, it says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. You know, that's getting to the point where opposing opinions just can be death now. Right? And I mean, it's always kind of been like that, but it's getting worse and worse and worse. You know, someone says, I like carrots. You say, I like peas. They might just shoot you over that shit, man. People are nuts these days. They're crazy. We're in the end days. When you're in the end days, all right, or, you know, as they're also mentioned in the Bible as evil days, all right, how do you expect them to be? Evil. Okay? The days are evil. All right? Let's go and get that. This is Ephesians 5:15. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly. What does circumspect mean? We get it from time to time on the channel. And I can tell you what it means verbatim, and it means wary. It means wary and unwilling to take risks. Okay? If I could highlight this correctly, we'll just do it that way. Circumspect means wary and unwilling to take risks.
Circumspect.
Wary and unwilling to take risks. There it is. All right? Cautious, wary, careful. Okay, that's one that you should know by definition, all right? It's simple, wary and unwilling to take risks. Circumspect is wary and unwilling to take risks, okay? Just repeat it like that and your brain will be able to, you know, that's one of the only ones that can really get the full exact definition as it has it. Wary and unwilling to take risks, okay? And it's a risk, man. You know, fighting in the kitchen where there are a bunch of knives and shit, that's a risk. All right, pots and pans or a boiling pot of water, that's a risk. All right, arguing with a cop, that's a risk. All right, you know, there's a lot of risks that, you know, aren't really worthy of being taken, okay? And that's why it says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools but as wise, and do what? Redeeming the time because the days are evil. You know, understand what time you're in, man. We're in evil times. Things that seem ridiculous to get shot over are now just normal things to get shot over, right? I mean, it's been going on so long time. Since the 90s, you know, it's been, you know, you cut someone off in traffic. Even if someone was, you know, on your ass and you had to do it, you might just get shot for it. Right? Can't use your horn in the city. You'll get shot for using your horn. Right? Can't do that. All right? Can't park in a certain spot. Might get shot for it. You know, we're in evil-ass days, man. And that's why another scripture we got to go and grab is pray without ceasing. Okay, before you leave the house, you got to pray. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:17. It says, pray without ceasing. Okay, and it says, in everything, come on, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahushai concerning you. So before you leave the house, you got to pray. Well, when you wake up, you got to pray. Before you know, get, you know, when you get in your car, you got to go and pray. All right, when you get your food, wherever you go, you got to pray over that food. Right, you got to do you got to pray a lot. Pray without ceasing. Cease means stop. All right, when they issue a cease and desist, that means stop it immediately. All right, don't do it again. Stop and don't try to do it again. Cease and desist. All right, don't, you know, desist. Don't insist. Desist. Cease and desist. All right, stop doing it. Okay, so let's get this one. And like I said, you know, this one probably just be a little shorter one. We're already at 10 minutes in, so maybe not. But you know, 20, 30 little thing. Probably 30 minutes with the ones I got. But yeah, let's go and get it. So this is ABC News. 4 people found dead, including 2 children in a San Francisco home. So let's go and watch this.
Investigators spent much of Wednesday night inside of this home, and during that time, the only light that we could see on was the light coming from that room above the garage.
The coroner's truck was surrounded by white sheets,
as officials work late into the night to take away bodies of the 4 deceased people found inside this San Francisco home Wednesday afternoon. Shortly after officers confirmed the gruesome discovery, there were tears from those who showed up to the scene. Officers say 2 of the 4 people found dead are kids. Neighbors we spoke with, heartbroken.
I was just coming back from school and I heard it from my mom, and I just, my heart dropped.
I don't have the words right now. We're all in a bit of shock. We are in shock. It's a tragedy, and we're thinking about the family. We are processing the information right now.
Belinda Hennard and her family live next door to this home where the bodies were found, not too far from City College of San Francisco. She says she didn't notice anything out of the ordinary in recent days. Officers finding the bodies after responding to a call for a welfare check.
Our bedroom is on their side, and we have 2 dogs. So if there was no noise, there was nothing. And I think it's the most disturbing part is that we didn't hear anything. Nothing. We knew it was a family of 4 with 2 girls. The older probably was around 12, 13 years old, and a dog, and it was a very normal family with normal family routine.
Police are still not saying what happened, but do confirm that crimes were committed inside this home. They also say there is no threat to the community. Investigators were asked if an attacker or assailant could have been one of the 4 found dead in the home.
That is a possibility. We're not confirming any of that at this time, but that is a possibility of this incident.
The names of the victims here have yet to be released, but you can see this is still an active crime scene. In San Francisco, J.R. Stone, ABC 7 News.
Who knows with that one, right? Who knows? Yeah, yep. It says, when the police say there's no threat to the community, it usually means that whoever committed the crime is also one of the deceased persons inside the home. A murder-suicide was my first thought, especially since kids were involved. It says it could be a lot of things. He's right, too. Or it says, or carbon monoxide. You just never know. All right. Yep. See, and this is a great example. Ripped to the innocent life taken. So let's go and grab a scripture on that. I always look for that. I always look for that. Come on, man. I need to turn this shit off. I always look for the innocent comment, right? Let's go and get that. All right, so Job 4:7, it says, remember, I pray thee, whoever, remember we talked about italics last night, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished, being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off, okay? So let's go on to verse 8. It says, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of Yahweh they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. So there you go. So whoever perished being innocent? No one. No one perished being innocent, right? Lord wouldn't kill innocent people, right? So they weren't innocent. So ripped to the innocent life. And that shows you that, and you'll say, oh, well, you're saying they're not innocent. You're wicked. We're not wicked, all right? We can go and get plenty of scriptures to rebuke everything that you're saying, all right? We can go and get... well, no, not really this one, but really Proverbs 17 and 15. It says, he that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even both are abomination to the Lord. So if you're justifying, that person that's been, put to death. You're saying, no, they were never wicked. They were never wicked. They were never wicked. It doesn't matter that they are a homosexual. It doesn't matter that they were an atheist and an atheist homosexual that was that hated so and so or whoever. They were still a good person. No. And now you're justifying that person that was wicked. So guess what? Now you're an abomination to the Lord, right along with that person. All right. And you that are condemning the just, here it is that, and I'm not going to say necessarily I'm trying to be just, but anybody that reads the scriptures are just. And, somebody that reads the scriptures, a just, words within the Bible, and you condemn them because of that, then you're an abomination. All right. And that's because you're wicked. All right. We can get that scripture. The wicked or evil men, right here, Proverbs 28:5, it says, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and go to the Blue Letter Bible, and let's go and type in Proverbs 28:5. We're going to go down here, and we're going to look for the word judgment, okay? It goes back to this word right here, mishpat, all right?
Strong's H, 4941. Mishpat.
All right. And it comes from, even further than that, shafat. If it'll play.
Strong's H, 8199. Shafat.
Okay. And it literally means to judge, govern, vindicate, or to punish. Okay. To punish. All right. And, right here, execute judgment, all right, to punish, all right, and one of those methods of judgment is death, all right, and a matter of fact, you can go, what did judgment mean biblically? Really, it's not always death, but death should be, one of the things that are mentioned. I'm trying to see. It really just goes back to punishment, and one of the primary punishments is, the death, the sword, all right? But it's not always death. Sometimes it can be, a crippling. Sometimes it can be disease. Sometimes it can be multiple different things. All right. But one of the primary ways that you see judgment is death. All right. That's probably the most one of the most common ways you see it. Let's see. Most likely murder suicide, as you see. But yeah, man. Family annihilator is at it again. This is becoming very usual in the U.S. Why? Debt, divorce. It's because, hey, man, America is the stage for the end of the world, right? America is the stage, and what I mean by that is it's the primary target, okay, for, and everywhere is going to be having something going on, but the complete, destruction is only going to be happening in Babylon, all right, aka America, USA, and Israel. Okay, that's the only place that nukes are going to be hitting, and a demolition, a great demolition, is going to occur on. I mean, it's going to happen in the other places as well, but it's going to happen to an extreme level at in Babylon and in Israel, right? So flat, making the land flat. All right, essentially with how bad it's going to be. So, and I mean by wiping out, all the buildings, all right, all the trees that Esau decided, everything's going to go back to a state that can be, well, not in Babylon, but, a state, getting rid of all what Esau's done. Okay, but Babylon's not going to be like rebuilt. All right, it's going to be just a wilderness. Other places are going to be inhabited and rebuilt, but Babylon's not. All right, so yeah, man, there's a lot of judgment going on, and that's the Lord that's doing it. Psalms 9:16 says, "The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah." So, when you see these things, let's go and get that. This is Amos 3:6. It says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it?" The Lord didn't do it. The Lord didn't do it. Wait a minute. I thought the Lord did all things. Right? I thought the Lord was in control. Is he not in control now? Who's in control then? Who's in control if it's not the Lord? Right? So let's go ahead and play this one. This is from NBC 10 WJAR. It's 2 killed in plane crash on the I-195 in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. So let's go and check this one. A lot of plane crashes lately, man. A lot of them.
NBC 10 News starts with breaking news.
We have a confirmed plane crash with possible injuries, active fire, and jet fuel spilled on the 195-19, exit ramp 19B Bravo.
Breaking right now, noon, emergency crews respond to I-195 in Dartmouth for a plane crash on the highway. We now know 2 people who were on board are dead. You're looking at early footage from the scene. Someone on the ground was also hurt. Authorities haven't released details on the extent of their injuries, but we do know they were driven to the hospital. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Barbara Morse.
And I'm Tamara Sakarzik. We've had you covered all morning with breaking news directly from the scene. The crash happened in the median near exit 19 on 195 right around 8:15 this morning. If you're familiar with the area, that's the exit at the Reed Road overpass. Our live team coverage continues right now. At noon, Storm Team 10 is tracking weather conditions. When that plane went down, obviously we have seen a lot of rain and wind. And we also have our traffic reporter. She's watching the road closures around the scene, and the traffic is causing a nightmare this morning, so we'll tell you how to get around that. We also have two crews live in the field with more information for us. Let's start there with NBC 10's Gabrielle Cracciolo. Gabrielle, what can you tell us?
Tammy, Barbara, we know the 2 people that died were on the plane when it crashed on I-195 here in Dartmouth. A 3rd person who was hurt was taken to the hospital, but it's unclear how severe their injuries are. We know they were not in the plane when it crashed. Take a look at the scene right now. The highway is closed in both directions. You can see state police, firefighters, and other officials here investigating. There is a lot of debris spread out from this plane, and this all happened around 8:15 this morning. I want to show you some video from people who were in the area at the time. You can see the small plane went up in flames. There's also a car in the median that appears to be damaged, though it's unclear right now if that car was hit during this plane crash. State police say preliminary information indicates the plane may have been attempting to land at the New Bedford Regional Airport. According to FlightAware, an online flight tracking website, the plane took off from that airport at 8:10 and crashed just 3 minutes later at 8:13. The website says that the plane was headed to Wisconsin, but state police say it does not appear the pilot provided the New Bedford Airport with the flight plan or the number of souls aboard the aircraft at the time. Now, again, we know that 2 people who were on the plane have died, but we don't know if anyone else was on the plane at the time of the crash. That 3rd person was on the ground when they were hurt. They were taken in a car to St. Luke's Hospital, but the extent of their injuries are unclear. And right now, investigators here on the highway are still working to figure out what exactly caused this crash. Live in Dartmouth, Gabrielle Cracciolo, NBC 10 News.
There you go, man. It doesn't seem that big, but still, 3 minutes later. Now, I saw this one when I was at work the other day. I saw this one come on the news. This is from NBC News. It says at least 6 dead after a mass shooting after a high school homecoming game. So let's go and play this. Let's see how this went down. I don't know anything about it other than that.
Chaos as deadly violence unfolded in tiny Leland, Mississippi.
We gotta do better. Leland homecoming, man.
Authorities say 6 were killed after a shooting on Main Street following the town's homecoming football game Friday night.
People who were enjoying themselves last night found themselves faced with violence that no community should be faced with.
The victims ranging in age from 18 to 41.
Jay.
Across the state, another deadly shooting.
We have a medical call at Heidelberg High School. Going to be multiple people shot.
This one at a high school football game in the small town of Heidelberg, where officials say 2 people died. Mississippi's governor says one of the victims was pregnant. Police today arresting an 18-year-old suspect. And in Rolling Fork, Mississippi, a third shooting outside of a local football game there last night. Authorities there arresting 2 individuals. While back in Leland, the search for the gunman continues. City leaders asking for help.
This is not a time to keep your mouth closed. It's a time you open your mouth. You can save a lot of lives if you open your mouth and tell us what you have seen.
The mayor working to heal a community in pain and on edge.
Please pray for Leland, Mississippi. Pray for your city, and let's pray for this country.
Jay Gray joins me now from Leland.
Don't
Jay,
pray for this
what
damn
do you know
country.
about the investigation tonight and the other victims there?
Yeah, and Savannah, let's start with that investigation. Within the last hour, we've seen crews up and inspecting what is the town's only surveillance camera here. It was trained directly where this happened, so it could provide some necessary video for this investigation as it continues. As for the other victims, we know at least 10 others were transported from this scene to area hospitals.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
So there you go. And you see a lot of these comments I was liking. It said, it never felt better being a homebody. This one says, the safest place to be nowadays is home as much as you can. This is moral decay of society. I like this one. This one says, at this point, I'd rather have my homes play video games at home. I'd rather have my kids play video games at home than go into these social functions. It says, yeah, this makes me never want to go to public gatherings. You shouldn't, man. And that's why the apostles have been warning you, man. Stay the fuck away from these parties, these gatherings. Just stay the fuck away from them. Even going to a concert is risky these days, man. All right? And most concerts. There's certain concerts you could probably go, like maybe a pop concert, but the risk is still there. It's even a risk going to a damn grocery store, man. All right? These people, and this is all prophesied, Matthew 24:12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound. We just talked about what iniquity was. We can go and look it up again. As a matter of fact, since we're on the computer here, we can go over to the Blue Letter Bible, type Matthew 24:12 in. We can go right here, scroll down, and look for iniquity. And it's going to go back to the word anomia, which means what? A condition without law. Okay, either because of being ignorant of it, not knowing the law, or because of violating it. Okay, contempt and violation of law, iniquity and wickedness. Okay, it's the state of without law, whether it be because of it being ignored or because of it purposely being violated, right? And because iniquity, what we just spoke about, shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. What does it mean if the love of many shall wax cold? All right, it means people are gonna grow worse and worse and worse. They're gonna be just killing people. They don't care. They don't care if you make it home. All right, they're just gonna shoot you. Right? This person says fatigue. You see it. It's Jake. All right, and you see it. Oh, fatigue. And yet you have a bunch of white people shooting up schools. All right, but if they only focus on Jake, they don't focus on themselves. All right, they don't focus about all the child molestation cases that happen per year, and that it's the Edomite, the white perpetrators. They don't care about that. They don't care about all of the other grapes. All right, and all of the mass shootings that happen that are generally white. All right, Edomites. They care about the ones that Jake do. Okay, and that's why, and they want, these are the same people say, oh, we need to fix this place. You can't fix it when you're only blaming one of the offenders. Okay. So, the hearts of many have grown cold. Look at that. That's prophecy. It says this is about blacks doing this, so don't include everybody in it. Watch. So you get to go and get reported for hateful and abusive content. So have fun with that. Let's see. It says, Charlie Kirk would disagree, and it says Charlie Kirk is dead. All right. This person, said Charlie squirt. All right, so there you go. Fatigued, anybody? So what you can do with these guys, you can always just send them on a little vacation. That's what I say. I always just go and send them on a little vacation. You can go right here and just right here. Just it's quick. Takes a couple clicks. Right here. And interesting how you don't mention fatigue for the other mass shooting. It's only the black people that matter. It doesn't matter about all the people that go and kill the kids up in their schools. It only matters about blacks. All right, that's what they say. So then we can go here. We can just report this guy. It's super easy, man. That's all you have to do. Doesn't even take that long. But yeah, man. So, yeah. third world country wearing designer clothes. The word I've heard, the saying I've heard is a third world country with a Gucci belt. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Either Yeezys were scuffed or someone got dissed. You know, they're doing that shit again. So again, just report all the way down. All right, and some of them get banned, some don't. But it's fun. Doesn't take too much time out of your day. And if you're already reading, you're already here, right? So just anything to piss them off just a little bit more, right? It's hilarious. Like I said, just go through here and just keep on going and doing it, man. Just keep on going and doing it. So, we got one more. Okay, one more on top of that. So, we'll go with this. I mean, it's kind of both, but yep. So,
well, it started
as
a simple act of kindness.
I want to see this one. This is new too. I added this one.
But it ended in heartbreak outside of a North Texas pet store. Dallas police say Cecilia Simpson was gunned down this past Tuesday after confronting another woman for not saying thank you. Happened in the 3500 block of West Wheatland in southeast Oak Cliff.
That wasn't circumspect, and it was probably like, you need to say thank you, bitch. Well, thank you. Blam, blam.
Into an argument, a chase into the store, and ultimately a deadly shooting in the parking lot. Fox 4's Vanya Casillo sat down with the victim's loved ones today and joins us live tonight with their story. Hi, Vanya.
Hi, Casey. Yeah, a senseless tragedy. That's what the mother of the woman who was killed earlier this week is calling her daughter's death after she was killed over the lack of a thank you.
It's like a bad dream that I can never wake up from.
Leslie Wickware was waiting for her daughter, 41-year-old Cecilia Simpson, affectionately known to her family as Cece, to come and visit her.
But that never happened. It's a hard, difficult, sad thing.
And, you know, she's probably going to pray to Jesus about it.
According to a police affidavit, she'd opened the door for 22-year-old Kiana Hampton. And when Hampton didn't say thank you, Simpson called her out. It led to an argument between the two women. Simpson entered the PetSmart and told employees she was being followed.
My mom, you know, as a bigger person, she walked away multiple times.
The affidavit says that Kiana Hampton admitted to following Simpson into PetSmart, throwing a bottle at her car as she was trying to leave, and
You can tell that bitch was a damn demon anyway. She deserves to be killed.
Into a fight before eventually shooting her in the parking lot.
So, and don't be surprised when you go into prison, and you can see it's the whole family looks the damn same, all right, with the fucking hair and all that shit. You can tell, you know that wasn't a simple. Excuse me, ma'am. You should say, hey, bitch. You know, I held the door over you. You should say thank you. You know, have some respect. You know that's probably how it was, right? Not because they're black. No, not because they're black. All right, but you can just tell the type. All right, dreads. All right. These I can't tell what these are. These look like some, I don't know, dookie braids or some shit almost, you know, box braids or something. It's blurry ass fucking 2010 looking ass video. All right. So and everybody's got red dye in their hair. They got red dye in their hair. Watch the fuck out. Watch the fuck out. Right? That's the female equivalent or the male equivalent if he's got red dreads. But red in the hair is the equivalent of black Jordans, man. All right? The all black Jordans. Okay, that's the equivalent. Okay, or the all red Air Forces. All right, yeah, it's hey man. So it says I never expect a thank you for having manners. Yes, you do. It says I go out shopping and encounter rude people all day long. It's just life. It's true. That's why I generally don't even hold the door open most of the time. I mean, if they're right behind me, I will. But I'm not gonna stand there and just hold the door open for a whole bunch of people, right? And if they're right behind me, I'll open it and I'll prop it up and I'll move it on. Because a lot of people even have an issue for holding the door. All right, they'll go, give me the door, right? It happens to be a girl walking, you don't see the guy. You're not doing it because you fucking think the girl's some type of way. You're just doing it because it's common courtesy, and then men have to pop at issue, right? So it says this world is getting insane. Absolutely, it's ridiculous. So it's been, people are fucking done with this place. Okay, people are done with this place, and rightfully so. This place is a fucking shithole. America ain't great. It's a fucking diseased fucking cesspool of bullshit. It's fucking dumb, all right? And there's no reason to stay around here, right? It shall destroy you. Let's go and get that. Even with a sore destruction. This is Micah 2:10. This is why, Jake, you need to fucking separate from this place spiritually, all right? And just be done with this place. There ain't nothing here for you. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So if you want to stay around this place, don't be surprised when you get fucking shot or stabbed or burned alive or something.
So we begin tonight with breaking news out of the Low Country. A shooting last night left 4 people dead and at least 20 more injured. It happened at a bar on St. Helena Island. Now, deputies have not announced any arrests in the case. Our Josie Frost has been in the Low Country all day following the story. She joins us now from outside the bar. Josie, what are you learning?
Janae, I'm here at Willie's Bar and Grill, and deputies say there were hundreds of people gathered here late last night and early this
Hundreds of people gathered here. There you go. Again, those big-ass crowds. Stay away from them.
This morning. Now, I got a chance to speak to the bar owner of this bar earlier today, and he tells me the shooting took place outside. Now, it happened around 1 a.m. early this morning. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office.
There's another thing, man. Staying out fucking, going those places, one, at a crowd is one thing, but being at those places at 1 a.m., people are drinking, they're bound to get fucking rowdy, and they all have guns.
Says when they arrived, there was a large crowd of people here, and they found several people shot, including some people that were shot critically. They say a large number of people were running for safety to some of the local businesses here on the street. Now, at least 4 victims died here at the scene, and at least 4 more were rushed to the hospital in critical condition, and others showed up at local hospitals on their own. Now, the owner says he was inside the bar when this happened, and again, the shooting took place here outside. He tells me one of those 4 people that died here was one of his security guards. He describes this incident as senseless.
It's a lot of hurt hearts, and it's a community that's that took some losses. Definitely unfortunate events that occurred last night for sure. This is a dark day. It doesn't represent us, who we are. It doesn't speak to how we love each other, how we interact down here.
Now, right now, no arrests have been made, but deputies say they're investigating multiple persons of interest and they're collaborating with other law enforcement agencies. Janae?
Josie, has the owner had safety concerns in the past?
Janae, I spoke to him about that today. He said he's made a lot of strides over the last year to try and make this a safe place that people can come, spend time with their friends and their family. But he says that he does have concerns moving forward. He says he thinks this street here needs some better lighting to maybe make it safer. And he says he thinks there should be a better police presence in this area. And some residents that I talked to today said they're shocked to hear something like this could happen. They say they've never considered this an unsafe place. Janae?
Josie, thank you for that report. Of course, she's live in Beaufort County. Now, officials are asking anyone with information to call 844-TIPS-BFT. We will continue to follow this story and provide updates both on air and online.
There you go. We got one more.
We're also tracking breaking news out of Tennessee this afternoon. Officials say some people have died and at least 13 are still unaccounted for after an explosion at a manufacturing plant outside of Nashville. Look at these aerial images. At least one building was completely destroyed, and there's an active fire right now. We'll continue to update you on this story as well as more information comes.
13 unaccounted for, 16 killed. Just look at it right here. Authorities identify 16 killed in Tennessee explosives factory blast.
In.
There you go. So, oops. Let's grab a couple more scriptures and we'll go ahead and close out there. How long have we been going for? About 40 minutes. It's A-okay with me. So, hey, man, you want to keep on living that life and, not be in this truth. Hey, you go right ahead. But don't be surprised when you wake up dead. Right? So, 22:11. This is Revelation 22:11. It says, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So what does that mean? You know, those that do evil get an evil reward. Those that do good get a good reward, and so on and so forth, right? So, look, man, you keep messing around, you keep playing with the Lord, all right, and this is the type of stuff that's going to happen to you, man. This is the type of stuff that's going to happen to you. Okay, and it doesn't matter how many times you get warned, you're still gonna do it, all right, because you don't fear the Lord. Okay, you don't fear the Lord. As a matter of fact, not fearing the Lord. Let me see if I can find a scripture. Let's see what these scriptures were that this guy posted. I mean, yeah, this is pretty much perfect. I mean, we'll grab this one. But Luke 12:5, it says, "But I will forewarn you." You can't say you weren't warned. "But I will forewarn you whom ye shall fear. Fear him which after he hath killed hath power to cast into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear him." And who is that? That's the Lord, all right? And if you fear the Lord, all right, he's going to keep you safe, okay? But if you don't fear the Lord, you're gonna be out there, and you ain't going to have no help, all right? You're going to have no one to call on, and you're just going to be asked out, man. Do we already get Psalms 9 and 16? I think we did, but I'll grab it again. Again, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. You have no one else to blame but yourself. Okay? You did it. Okay? It was you. Alright, with all that stuff on it. Inside joke. But, you can't blame somebody else. Alright? That was you. You did it. Let's get... What else do I want to get? Let's get... We can get, bear with me. One moment, bear with me. Slack you. But, alright, slack you. I was messing with my keyboard. Let's go ahead and get Matthew 12 and 36. Come on now. Matthew 12 and 36, it says, But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So some of you might have been talking shit. Some of you people might have, seen the Hebrew Israelites. You might have said something. You might have murmured something against your under your voice. Lord don't like the murmuring. All right, you don't like that. As a matter of fact, I think the apostle was talking about that today. We can get right here. It says, "Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer." So, what are these guys gonna do? They think they know something. Yeah, well, that's murmuring. Don't do that. All right. So again, we don't know all what you did, but we know you did something. All right, because the Lord wouldn't have killed you for no reason. So let's get, and you can die without it being judgment, all right, in a multitude of different ways. But when it comes with the sword, getting shot up and burned alive and stuff, that's judgment. Okay, that's judgment. Let's get, let's get Isaiah 30 and 13, and maybe one more, and then we'll close out. But yeah, people, they do a whole bunch of things, and they say, "Oh, I've been fine. What are you talking about?" Well, it's building up. It's building the case on you is what the Lord's doing. Isaiah 30 and 13. "Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant." And it's. I heard one guy, this Edomite guy, I think he's an Edomite probably. He looks like a so-called Asian guy, but I think he's an Edomite. He said, death is kind of like stepping in shit. right? You never really think you're going to do it. It just happens, okay? So, but yeah, that's, you know, in this case, you know, people that would sin and sin and sin and sin, you think you're going to pay, it's like stepping in shit. You don't expect to step in shit or stepping in gum. All right, it just happens. All right, and that's how it is with this judgment with people. They say, oh, no, that's fine, that's fine. No, that's not going to be me. That's not going to be me. Bam, and then it hits you. All right, and you didn't expect it. All right, you didn't expect it. So, let's get another one that goes with that. There's Ecclesiastes 8:11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, because you don't, here it is, you did something wicked, you don't die right then and there. All right. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh, which fear before him. Right? But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh. Again, not going because he doesn't fear. So really, we'll close out with that pretty much, because I think that's a heavy message to leave off. You know, you think that you're going to keep on getting away with it. Hey, it's like a shadow, always creeping up right behind you, and one day it's going to get you. All right, if you don't repent. All right, so those that are, are receptive, hey, call upon the Lord and repent. All right, and I hope you be, cleared from your transgressions and don't do them again. Right, and that's my advice. But those of you that aren't, they're not in this truth, you hate the Hebrew Israelites, you talk shit upon us, you do all this, say things about the Lord, then don't be surprised when death comes upon you, and you're not going to be able to beg for help or mercy, because who are you going to have to do it to? The Lord. And he's the one that put you in that situation in the first place. So you already worn out that welcome. You already burnt that bridge. Okay? So that's a lesson. All right, Judgment Report on 10/13/2025, October 13, 2025. So with that, we're going to close out. Lord, what was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.